Hi everyone and welcome to our Knoww Groww session with Mr. Lalit Keshre, who is the founder and CEO of Groww. He is an alumnus of IIT Bombay and we're very honored to have you with us today. Lalit, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Simran. Hey, folks, great to see you on Saturday evening. And hackathons are always like one of the best ways to see innovation. I We just had one hackathon internal in the company, and I gave this analogy that if you want to know the direction of the wind, you look at the clouds, right? Because clouds have free will. So hackathons are like those clouds where you have free will and you build something with what you really love, and kind of lot of we have seen a lot of new ideas, new companies that emerge out from hackathons, right, around the world. So great to and if you are participating in hackathons, then definitely you are kind of you are kind of those folks who kind of are always at the forefront of innovation and building things for future. So pleasure to kind of address you today. Let me give you a quick 5 minute intro about Grow. Before that, quick intro about myself. I actually hail from Madhya Pradesh. I see that a lot of you are from Indore. I grew up in a very small city near Indore and went to study to IIT Bombay, did my engineering there. I've been a coder, so I've been an engineer. I build a lot of products, coding myself, and overall the personal objective has been to kind of build products that impact millions of people and mostly leveraging tech, right, technology, because that's what our roots are, and that's where we can create the biggest impact. So the idea of Grow started like around 6 years back when we saw that in India the access to financial services is very low. So again, as I have personally seen this from where I come from, as well as people around me and people around us. There are India is one of like 1.4 billion population, and you would be shocked to know how many people invest or have access to credit or buy insurance, right? These are very important financial products where the access is missing. And when we when we when we went deeper to understand why these problems exist, we came up with three big problems. First problem was about the complexity of the products. Like, just imagine somebody sitting in Indore buying an insurance or buying a mutual fund. It's just very complicated, and there's nobody to explain it to you, right? Second things are Second thing is about the incentive structure of the industry. So financial services is mostly a push driven industry where you are sold products, you don't buy products, right? So an agent would mostly be selling you something, and in return for that they get a commission. So the inherent uh, incentive of somebody like an agent is to find somebody who is very rich, or who does not understand anything, so they can missell some most of the time, right? So it does not serve them good if they cater to middle class or lower middle class. Or And lastly, the cost of distribution is very high, right? When you go to offline. So if you're doing offline, you have to open bank branches, you have to hire a lot of people, and they're expensive. So the cost to the customer gets very high. So being a techie and to someone with a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. When we look deeper, we found out that tech can solve all these problems, right? Personally, we have been building uh, products for millions of customers just using technology. Like we were working with Flipkart, and before that, I built other products. Uh, so so tech is the biggest leverage for us to make investing accessible to millions of people in India, right? And uh, tech tech has the leverage to make it simple, like all the three problems that we discussed. Technology makes it simple, right? You can build best UX that anybody in the country can understand about your products. Technology makes everything transparent because all the information that was dug deeper inside somewhere, you can make it transparent to everybody. And instead of push driven where you are calling customer and selling, customers can find out about products themselves. And lastly, the most important one, tech has the biggest leverage in lowering the cost. So if you're serving 1 million customers, and if you are doing it offline through people, you will need, let's say, X number of people. And if you have to serve 10 million people, you would need 10x people. But with tech, that is not the case. A very solid 10x kind of engineer can write a code that can scale 1 million to 10 million by just scaling the servers, right? And then your cost can be very low. So these are the kind of leverages that tech has, and that's why we are very kind of excited about the kind of impact that we can create in financial services just by being crazy kick-ass engineers. I think that's all from me. Like, all the best for your projects. And just last one is that being an engineer has a very high leverage. Do you understand leverage? Like, if you give me a place to stand, Archimedes told that, if you give me a place to stand in the space and give me a very long rod, right, I can move the earth because of the leverage, right? You can move very heavy objects just using the leverage. So tech has a very, very high leverage. Just single line of code can have a very, very high impact. So be happy that we are living in this world where we have the opportunity that India provides us, and then we are engineers. So yeah, all the best and thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today. It was great hearing about how Grow is empowering the common people of India to learn about investment. And that kind of does remind me, I'm sorry to be taking a little extra of your time, of the initiative Grow Academy that you have on as a sister project to Grow, I believe, is something that I've noticed when I was going through. So can you tell us a little bit about that if the time
Yeah,
permits?
so this is again, Simran, this part of that transparency and complexity, right? So now, now just imagine, let's say if you have to enable 100 million, just 100, not 1.4 billion, but 100 million people to, let's say, buy mutual fund, right, or buy insurance. If you
Yeah,
have like old classroom kind of system where kids used to go in school and learn and so on, how many teachers do you need? It's just so difficult. But
a
then
lot.
if you can create very, very solid uh, systems, scalable systems where people can learn better. So I'll give an example. We have YouTube, we have some videos on YouTube, and a lot of customers just call me every day and that I saw this and I learned about this thing, and I feel so empowered and good. So Grow Academy is like, we have focused on learning since day zero. Like, even before we launched Grow, we started focusing more and more on education.
Yeah, that is definitely an initiative I believe a lot of us youngsters can also benefit from. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks a lot for sharing your experiences and wisdom. It was an honor to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much and all the best. Bye.
Thank you. Moving forward, we're going to be hearing more about Grow Engineering and how engineering, as Lalit just said, empowers Grow. For that, we have John Francis with us today, who is a UI lead at Groww and is a passionate Android and React evangelist. Hi, John. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi everyone. Uh, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, so my presentation is also visible, I guess. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. So let me talk about myself in very. So I'm John Francis. I work on app team at Grow. I'm leading the app team right now. So I'm almost 10 years of experience in front end mobile application development, and worked before Grow. I was working with Flipkart and Hummer and other previous companies. So yeah, let's dive into the session. Let me go to the next slide. So before I start the session, I want you guys to go through this video. Say,
स्टॉक शब्द सुनते ही ना लोग कहते हैं पागल है क्या अभी तो हम जवान हैं और आप
अरे हम कहाँ इतना बड़े बड़े लोग का खेल है
पर ये स्टॉक मार्केट किस खेत की मूली है कि हमसे ना हो पाएगा।
हाँ कौन कहता है यहाँ सिर्फ फुल पैंट वाले ही इन्वेस्ट करते हैं इधर हाफ पैंट्स भी चलेंगे और सफेद बाल छोड़ो
इधर नीले भी दौड़ेंगे
सूट्स की जरूरत क्यों
सलवार सूट भी हो सकता है।
और आपकी गाड़ी में पहिए 4 हो या 2
कोई भी इन्वेस्ट कर सकता है
jargon झाड़ने वाले तो बहुत हैं पर करेक्ट और सिर्फ सीनियर्स क्यों
इधर एक इंटर्न भी आ सकता है।
अब चाहे आप अंकल हो
या किसी को अंकल बुलाने वाले
इधर कोई भी मचा सकता है क्योंकि ये मार्केट
सबका है बॉस।
सबका है बॉस
डाउनलोड ग्रो अकाउंट खोलो मार्केट समझो इन्वेस्ट करो इन्वेस्ट
so guys, as you can see, and Lalit as also Lalit was spoken before. So this market is everyone's. Sabka hai boss. Means even anyone can invest. We are doing that possible right now with Grow, and we are in making democratizing the financial services of Indian market using Grow. So we are changing the way India invests. We are one of the fastest growing startup, and we are number one in mutual fund investments, and we are top five in stock investing in almost before within the 12 months of launch. We are making investing cool for millennials. Our average age of users we use the app are 27 years, and most of our users are from apart from top 6 cities, which are metro cities, which are almost 60% of users. And we are one of the first touch point for our millennial users. We means 60% of our users are investing, entering into the market just using Grow. Okay. This is the team: Lalit, Ash Jain, and Ishan Bansal, Neeraj Singh. They were working with Flipkart before, as Lalit said, and they started Grow at 2016. Okay. Coming to India's wealth, see, as you can see in 2017, uh, the equity market is almost 4%, right? So a lot of people are investing in real estate, deposits, and gold. So that's where we pitch in, and we democratizing the investment platform as a group to invest in mutual fund stocks and make it very easy. And we are one of the fastest onboarding platform in any compared to any other app. You can open your stock market or demat account within minutes once you just download the app, Grow app. Okay. So Grow lets user invest the way they shop online, just like you shop something in Amazon, Flipkart. Just go to Grow and just select your mutual funds or stocks just by using your UPI payments or any stuff. It's that simple. Okay. We are in mutual funds and stocks now, and we have a lot of products coming in the future. Uh, I'll go through what is the long-term vision for us. Uh, the long-term vision is primary bank for millennials in India, and we have mutual fund stocks, deposit international stocks, it's called US stocks, and the roadmap, we have a lot of things in the roadmap: savings account, asset management, lending, something like credit and insurance. These are the our major investors in our this company, Tiger Global Rivet Capital, question Nikanga Ford. Uh, Coming to the good part, as a lot of people are students and engineers, uh, as engineering in Grow is one of the cool thing we have as part of engineer. We take a lot of complicated stuff in Grow and make it super simple. And coming to the front end frameworks, we use React and React Native as our core front end technology right from the beginning. And using React, we have done a high performing front end. Either it might be a website or it might be a app in Android or iOS. And we use Android and iOS as well, and Swift and Android Kotlin as well for some of our native screens for rendering high performance and interactive screens like stocks or something. So front-end languages, we have JavaScript, Kotlin, and TypeScript. We use majorly these things in the front end. And Coming to the backend infrastructure, we have a lot of infra tools we use, like Kubernetes, Istio, Docker, Prometheus, and one of our we use Google Cloud and AWS as our cloud platform, and MySQL as a DB, and caching services like Redis, Search, Kafka, and RabbitMQ. Okay. Coming to the backend languages, we use Java as our main language, and Golang, all the other stuff like C++, Python, and Scala, and Bash as well. We use a lot of other tools. Firebase is one of our main tool for doing a lot of experiments and analytics and config related stuff. We use Firebase, and we use a lot of other tools for tracking our crashes and bugs, and does that for us. And Neuralink, we use a lot of Jira in our code, means code management and project management as well. Yeah, a lot of tools. And godfather of all, we use Stack Overflow, where this is the mother of all the tools, more even if we have anything. And yeah, then we are actively contributing to the community and engineering part. Go check out our URL, which is tech.grow.in. We are publishing actively publishing blogs and whatever difficulties we face as a developer in Grow, and we publish them and help others to learn from that as well. Yeah, this is some of the perks at Grow. At Grow, you'll party hard and work hard. You'll have a very awesome life at Grow, and we enjoy a much in office actually. Due to work from home, it is not possible right now, but we'll soon resume that as soon as possible. Yep, happy investing. That's it from my side. It's a short session. Do you have any questions? You can ask me or the team is here for answering questions. Yes, Imran.
That was a great presentation. Gives anybody wanting to join Grow at Engineering um, an incentive to actually a sneak peek into the kind of tools you use, and they can use this to do better and learn all of these tools that are anyways used in the industry at a very fast growing rate. So thanks a lot for that. We do have a few questions. I'll just, before we do, I would like to introduce um, other senior engineers from Grow that we have. We have Saurav Day with us, who is a backend engineer at Grow. And thank you for joining us today, Saurav.
Oh, hey Simran. Hey guys. Hi,
And
Saurabh. Hi.
hi, Sudhendra. You go by Goku on most platforms. Sudhendra is an app architect at Grow and is a really cool person. I think just by that name, I think a lot of people will be your fans. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So we do have a couple of questions in the chat. Um, One that we have is what makes Grow a unique investing platform? That is, what in your opinion is the USP that Grow brings to the table for millennials to invest specifically?
So I think it is the product simplicity of the product what we have, and the design, the UX of our app. So we
Yeah.
whatever product we develop, we make it so simple in such a way that a layman can understand what it is, and our our main USP is our UX, user experience of the app, and design. That is where
Mhm.
the Grow stands for.
That seems like a great thing. I think simplicity is something that we do not easily associate with stock market usually, and Grow makes that possible for its users. So that's great. Um, we have another question. How is Grow planning to help millennials further in this digital world? I think this question was partially answered in Lalit's keynote as well, but if uh, any of you would like to answer that.
You guys are millennials, right? Whoever is in the hackathon, they are millennials, right? So we are reaching
Yeah.
out to all these youngsters and millennials, and by doing making it simple. Actually, most of the students they started using Grow now, because even if they are doing any internship or anything, even they can start investing in mutual funds within 500 rupees or something, right?
Mhm.
That's where Grow stands, and making the things easy for millennials, because they'll not be the huge investors, right? They'll be investing in a bit of money. So that where we are educating them using our YouTube channel, Grow Academy, and lot of stuffs, right? They can learn about that.
These are initiatives I've become a fan of learning. I actually learned about them during this hackathon. So I think this hackathon has been a great platform for us to learn about Grow as well. We have another question a little more towards the engineering side. Do we have public facing Grow APIs for historic stock data?
So
Mhm.
it is.
I think we have public APIs, but they are not public. Like you have to first uh, pass the audit and compliance to use those keys. So like we have integration with small case. So small case is using our public APIs.
Okay, all right. Then we have another question. What is a major milestone you covered while building the UI and infra of the Grow app? A milestone, perhaps this could be a question each of you could answer individually, since you must have had different experiences and journeys with the Grow application. So, John?
Major milestone you covered by building the UI. One thing is that we started developing the app using React Native. Okay, when since after launching stocks, we were facing a lot of performance issues in the app, because as stocks we have to render a lot of data within few seconds, because it's a live market, right? So there were some performance issues, and we tackled it using making some like an hybrid approach. We developed some of the native using native Android, and we made our own navigation to navigate between native and React Native. And after that, we tried to improve the performance of native screen, and we have in the hybrid approach now. We have native Android as well using Kotlin, and we have React Native as well. Both. That was one of the major milestone we reached. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
interesting. Uh, Goku, if that's all right, or should I? I have been
Yeah.
confused during
Sure.
the
Sure.
question.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So John was right. That was one of the biggest hurdles we crossed. Um, so apart from that, one of the other major issue that we all faced across platform was handling the scale. So as you know, the stock market starts at 9:15 in the morning, ends at 3:30, but most of the rush happens at 9:15. Like first half an hour is where millions of customers they come in, they punch their orders, they punch their limit orders, and all has to be executed. And at the same time, they have to see the live data, uh, all the time. That has to be seamless. Like we churn out about anything between 150 to 200 live data messages every second. on any part of the screen. So that is the base. It can go up to 300, 400, where pages, something like a watch list happens. That is on the app. It's not a desktop, right? So we did a lot of optimization and performance intensive tasks there. We had to go down to core root level of the basic things. The difference between plus plus I and I plus plus. We had to really optimize our code to such an extent to make it very very seamless and performance as well.
That is, I mean, the difference between I plus plus and plus plus I is such a minute difference we learn about perhaps in first year when we do, and we don't pay much mind to it, but it's amazing how much of a difference it can make at such a scale.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
of course.
yeah.
Considering we have people who are from almost all part of the world, a part of the country, sorry, where we have tier 2 tier 3 cities where the network is not so good, very patchy, and people use very basic phones. Although it is Android, its cost would be something around 5,000 rupee phone, but it has to still perform over there as well, right? So we had a tough time fixing that, but we worked really hard and got it done. Now we don't hear anybody complaining about things on data or performance, and it's very battery friendly as well.
So like it can be used on the Geo phone as well by anybody.
Yes, yes, we have a lot of customers from Geo.
That is amazing. Saurabh?
Yeah, I think mostly the scale we handled so far, like 5 to 10 million requests per minute uh, at market opening hour, and then number of trade we handle, the data we move. I think yeah, these are the measures.
Challenges you face from day to day
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
in general. Yeah. Okay, we have the next question we have is now this is from the hiring side, recruiter perspective. What skills do you expect us to have to work at Grow in your respective teams? Obviously, that would be so. Again, we would start with John.
I already told you in the PPT. These are the tech we will use. Yeah, just go through that. I can share you the list of things what we use at Grow. Apart from
Mhm.
this, we need guys who are problem solvers, not just coders. Okay, we need guys who can solve the customer issues. As we are a customer centric company, anything we focus on customer, whatever issues they face is our issues, and we solve that. And whatever requests from the customer, we'll be developing that. So
Mhm.
just, he should be a problem solver apart from a coder. Think like from all the perspective, not only whatever he is working on, from end to end, A to Z, right from using the app till what is happening in the DB in the backend, what is the infra which is happening, what is the caching strategy, how can the server can scale, something like that.
Mhm. So, if we were to ask the non-technical skills, soft skills that we speak of, that you look for in candidates when you're interviewing them or speaking with them, what would those be? Goku, for you?
Yeah, good question for me. So what I would like to say and probably give a suggestion to most of the folks watching here is uh, be good at tech so well that it becomes a secondary knowledge. um, you worry about things like uh, अभी इसका फ़ोन में ये पर्टिकुलर चीज़ चल नहीं रहा है, इसको कैसे फिक्स करें, rather than thinking of stuff like ये कलर मैच नहीं हो रहा है right? Or
Right, yeah.
like my database is not connecting. No, those are something you have to put some effort and learn them. Be good at it to such an extent that that's not even a problem for you. That's what
Mhm.
I would suggest anybody. And we also look at people who are uh, hungry at learning. We don't expect the college candidates to know everything, but we
Mhm.
like to see a good passion in what they do and what they learn. Uh, every
Right.
platform, every technology is secondary. Uh, like me, John, and Saurav, we have all worked on multiple different things when there was a need. We never stuck to one single platform or one single technology. So
Mhm.
uh, learn well, and that will serve you well in the future.
This a zeal to learn definitely is something that we all see a lot during hackathons because people are learning and creating. And I thanks a lot for pointing out that this is something that the industry asks for as well. You need when you're in the industry since it's so fast paced.
Yeah.
This kind of brings me. This question leads me to a question of my own. For somebody to be interviewing at Grow or to be working in engineering at Grow, what is the level of financial knowledge that they should have? Is that a requisite? Because a lot of people think it is a requisite to be working at a fintech company. So this is a
Not,
question a lot of
not really.
students have.
We are mostly engineers, so we better stick to what we are good at, write code.
Problem
There are
solving
people,
with technology.
yeah, there are people who think about money, finance, all the numbers. Let them do their job because they can do it better than us.
Okay,
So
so that's not a requisite.
No, not
not a
really.
requirement. When I joined, I was not knowing what is mutual fund. Okay, and at least nothing related to finance. So as
Yeah,
you after you started working on those products, you learn day by day what it is, how to invest in something, and we have a lot of internal sessions also in Grow to learn about finance, and we have a sessions on that as well. And obviously, go to YouTube. Anyone can learn finance. It's nothing rocket
yeah,
science or something. Engineering is difficult than finance, I guess.
It's good. This
yeah.
is a group of engineers we're talking between, so nobody's going to tell us anything against that. Okay, the next question we have is being a startup, what are the things you think all entrepreneurs should keep in mind? Ooh, this is, I think, a question more towards entrepreneurship and less towards engineering. If you have any advice perhaps as a company how you work, as you said, you're customer focused and user centric, so is that like values like that Grow has as a firm, as a company when it comes to
one
serving
one
customers?
thing one thing as an entrepreneur you should have is you have to fail fast. Don't keep building stuffs and wait for the right time. Okay, ship it faster. That's how we do in growers. If you want to, if you are experimenting on any new product or something, we just build it faster and ship it faster and check the feedback, get the feedback from the customer. And if it is
Mhm.
failing, you accept that and you build a better product next time. That is one thing we
That's,
have. That is
mhm.
from my.
Yeah.
So I think this applies to hacks as well. When people come to mentors asking for feedback, it's the same thing. Like if your idea isn't something a mentor endorses, you don't need to keep building on it. So that is definitely a value. Sorry, Goku, I interrupted you saying something.
No, that's okay. One more thing about building your own company or startup and having that spirit is all about don't try to solve something that that will be obsolete in next couple of years. Try to pick the hardest problems there is because they are going to last for a very long time, and that itself will give you a huge roadmap for you, a big roadmap. The path that Grow has taken so far, it's about democratizing investing, right? So investing has a stock, mutual funds, gold, FD. There are so many things out there still which are in our roadmap. So it's a very huge problem to solve, and our focus is dead on because there are so many things to solve. And as engineers, we like to solve, right? It's fun to solve things. So don't pick very small problems because what are you going to do
Like a
after doing
long
it?
lasting problem.
Yes, pick things that are very hard to solve.
Okay. There's another question. How do you decide on tech when you're working on such a scale? Like, how do you decide on what tech to use? What is the decision-making process that goes on the infrastructure end of things? Sort of, if you could help us with how, basically, just some insights on how the process works when you're working at that scale.
So I think there is no thumb rule here. Uh, you have to know your infra, you have to know your stack, and you have to uh, do all sort of perf test. Yeah, there is no thumb rule. Like, you have to know your stack in depth.
One strategy we use is that as we have millions of users, we don't launch anything to all the millions of users. We launch it to some few
Roll out
thousand.
slowly. Yeah.
Gradually, we'll
Yeah.
increase. That is called white listing based, so that you can test out your scale. And if something goes wrong, we can increase the scale, add some servers, something like that, and status, and gradually increase. Don't scale at once.
Hmm.
Even if
Okay,
you're
yeah, that
launching
helps.
a new feature or something, we launch it to few customers, get the feedback, then launch it to few more customers and get feedback and rework on it and something like that.
Hmm. So that's great. That gets me thinking. Customers are as much a part of the process as the engineers are. A lot of
Yeah.
effort goes into the research. That's amazing. We have another question. What is the best thing about Grow's work culture according to you? So again, this is going to be a personal opinion question. So we'll go one by one. John.
As I shared in the PPT, you would have seen the pictures, right? Uh, what's the best thing is that you'll be getting to know about a lot of cool people in Grow, and you'll be learning finance, which is not taught from any of the colleges. And you'll be working on a lot of finance related products, you'll be start investing, okay, and you'll be uh, getting better in your finance, personal finance. And apart from that, we are cool. We have a lot of things at office. We have PlayStation. We do uh, tournament gaming tournaments. Last 6 months before, we had a Counter Strike tournament internally. We do hackathons. We do a lot of parties and problem solving sessions, foosball, table tennis, a lot of cool stuffs.
Hmm. That sounds like an ideal place to work at, a place anybody would want to work at, really. What's the best thing according to you, Goku?
Best thing is everybody at Grow is awesome. Take it tech wise, or take it any when you're just chilling out. uh, there are probably some people who are very good at art, uh, probably drawing, painting. We encourage that. And somebody's really good at reading books and maybe summarize them. We also have a book club on our platform where
That sounds
uh,
like a dream to me. I am a
yeah.
reader myself.
And what
So people request names and book will be delivered to their home. That's it. It's
Yeah,
no questions around it. So we
book
have a
you.
nice book club, and we have a lot of cool stuff that happens. Although we have been working from home for past 1.5 years now, uh,
Hmm.
I don't see a lot of people facing a lot of issues. We have regular interactions where we don't want people to get burned out because they are sitting at home, right? So we do a lot of interactive sessions. A lot of people here are very, very smart and intelligent because we hire them, right? So
Uh-huh. So
uh,
that's a
we
prerequisite. You should be smart and intelligent before you try.
I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule, but you have to
Hmm.
be creative. Creativity is the biggest points I will give.
Right. Yeah, that kind of contributes to problem solving as well. You have to be creative with the problems we solve. Sort what, in your opinion, would be the one thing that makes Grow a great place to work at?
I think open culture, like we discuss our OKR publicly, like everyone to like can comment. on this. Like OKR is like the I think objective key. I don't know the full form.
Results. Yeah.
Okay,
Results.
objective key data. Yeah. So I think like what we are going to do, org wide, like everyone knows that, and everyone can contribute. Like even like no boundaries. Like fresher also can contribute here. Like we had a leadership upside there. Like people, but they are of like 1 or 2 year experience. People are also there, and people are there who has experience with 15, 20 years experience. So very open culture. I think
So
that's
one thing in Grow is that the ownership.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask an intern who joined recently, you'll come to know what kind of ownership he is working. There is no limit of ownership what we give to freshers, irrespective of experience. Uh, the one more ownership you take, the more things you can do it grow. There's no there's a flat hierarchy. So even if you join as an intern, you can drive something which is related to product, or if it is you can contribute to the team, irrespective of your experience. As
That is amazing. I think all our participants that are looking forward to being a part of Grow one day have this is going to be one of the highlight points, I believe, as a part of internships, because we've heard a lot of organizations have interns work on projects that aren't related to their primary product and all of that, and that's the kind of so this kind of an experience is, I think, a dream for most of us as interns in so I believe all of these points make Grow a great place for anybody to work at. We have a question around security, which is how you have achieved to make Grow the most secure platform. Have you faced security issues and how you've tackled those? Is a question on that.
so again here there is no like no thumb rule here also. Like you have to stick to basics. Like you have to understand how security works. You have to understand firewall. You have to understand like what data you should serve in your API. Uh, mm, you have to understand the boundaries and like, no thumb rule here.
Just a case to case basis,
yeah,
risk analysis and security.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
and just concern get protect your customers' data. Okay, that's what one thing we are very serious about. Because as it is the customers users data, we can't make any compromise on that. So we have a rigid security team who will be working checking each and every releases what we do. Like before each release we have a security team which will be giving it the sign off for us before any release, app release, website deployment or backend deployment. And uh, they will be completely monitoring what it is getting integrated, what is there any API, REST API, if it gives any customers leak, data leaked or something. And we have one more thing is called means security bounties, where a lot of open developers, hackers, security who of them call security hackers, who can submit their if they find any security issue, they can submit their security issue to us. We have will report them as well, and we'll solve that issue as well.
Mhm. That just sounds like people. It's a bounty to try and break a very strong
Yeah.
wall. That's really cool. Um, we have a question for regarding communities and developer communities. From your experience, how does getting involved in developer communities contribute to one's personal growth? Like, be it as part of hackathons or maybe as a part of various other brand communities out there or college communities. How, in your personal experiences, has it contributed to your growth? This question asks.
Coco, you want to answer
Mm,
that?
I can answer. Um, So, normally getting involved in this kind of community activities, whether it is hackathon or sharing some information on blogs, as well as some GitHub resources, somebody who's active in these things, uh, what helps you personally is that you have put an effort to learn that, and every piece of module that you have built it with an interest and to make it easier, right? And once you get into hackathons and all these code contests, uh, they will let you delve into just the base understanding of what you have learned throughout the college or maybe later as well. All of these things help you get good at what you are doing. uh, so when uh, things go down to very scale, as well as when things go down to critical situation, it is these basics that will help you solve problems.
Adding to that, involving in developer communities is where you learn a lot from other co-developers who will be working in other companies. You'll be able to know what is the stack they are using and how they solve their problem in their own way. How you can learn from that. And one more thing is that you can learn a lot about something new in those community sessions or hackathons or any developer meetups or something. And if you are using any technology, you might not be aware of some new updates in that. As we are using React Native, I might be not knowing what is the latest version of React Native, what they are coming up with. But I can go to the meetup and just learn. Someone is giving a talking about something, and you meet someone. You have a session there, and you'll be learning something new there. And as a part of that, you also can contribute to others as well. That's where the community comes in, right? You give
Yeah.
and you get from them.
That's true. That's definitely true. In the interest of time, we'll just take a couple more questions. One is regarding, does Grow have a risk mitigation team as well? And if yes, I think that is a part of this. A part of this was answered in the security question. What are the domains of work that Grow looks for when hiring for these kind of teams, for the security teams, risk mitigation teams?
uh, uh, Security, infrastructure security, uh, app security, and like there are two kinds of risk. One is financial risk. One is security IT risk. So for financial risk, we have people coming from financial industry. For IT risk, for IT security, we have, yeah, these two team, ITsec and AppSec. And AppSec, yeah, you have to be very white hacker kind of mind. Yeah, you have to have this mindset. And again, I don't know like how to quanti name that term or anything.
Mhm. Right. And there's just one more question that I think is very interesting. Does Grow plan to work in the cryptocurrency domain, in the crypto domain as well in the near future, or maybe in the long term?
Not that we know of.
We developed something in our internal hackathon.
Yeah.
Like Saurav can answer that. We were working on that.
Yeah, we developed some
Yeah.
Grow coin, idea of Grow coin in our
Okay.
hackathon, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
key whether like
So
It's a
because of compliance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
It's
if
a
it is
tricky
crypto is
situation
This,
right now.
yeah, Goku.
It's a tricky situation at the moment. In crypto, a lot of people are trying to explore, but it's not regulated. What if the entity that is using the crypto, if you ran away with the money, you can't even file a complaint in police because there is no regulation around it. It's like you gave the money to the other guy and he just took it. You can't even register a FIR. It's something like that. The situation is right now. So until the regulation comes in, until there are proper rules are set in, it's difficult for us to dive into this platform at the moment
right.
because we
I
also
think
have
that.
other products, right? So they will become
Mhm.
a liability if we launch. If it becomes bad, then if tomorrow RBI can say block kar to grow,
Oh, no, no, we
we don't
definitely
want
don't
that,
want that.
right? So
We
we don't
can't.
want to take such a risk.
Mhm. I think we've all, or our audience and myself, we've all had a great, enriching time today. Thanks a lot for joining us. We have a lot of comments to show that as well. This is okay. CS:GO tournaments. This is, I think, all of this
Yep,
was a very
we have.
valuable session. It was great interacting with you all. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
to our audience, thanks a lot for joining us and taking the time on your weekend to hack with us and also to join this session today. Thanks a lot. Happy hacking, everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, happy hacking.
Happy hacking.